They promised you a new direction, a gentle correction. But listen carefully to what Cardinal Víctor Manuel Fernández just told the world. 1 year after Pope Francis's death, on April 21st, the prefect of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith sat down with the Italian newspaper Il Giornale on April 13th. And his message is terrifyingly clear. Pope Leo XIV is not undoing anything. He is doubling down. Fernández called suggestions that Leo wants to erase Francis's pontificate dishonest. He then revealed that Leo has asked the entire church to continue to receive the magisterium of Francis. Not to discern it, not to correct it, to receive it. Fernández shares a haunting, intimate memory. At their final audience, the dying Francis, barely able to speak, whispered to him, "Humble yourself and trust." For the cardinal, this is the spiritual seal on Leo's papacy. Humility, yes, but for traditional Catholics, this feels like a trap, because humility without truth is just sentimentality, and the evidence is already here. Before the last consistory, Leo didn't ask the cardinals to study the Catechism or the Church Fathers. He asked them to reread Evangelii Gaudium. Now, he has summoned the presidents of episcopal conferences to revive the reception of Amoris Laetitia, the document that caused a 5-year firestorm over communion for the divorced and remarried. This is where the theological knife twists. Fernández points to what Francis called his greatest legacy, applying the hierarchy of truths not just to ecumenism, but to all preaching. The idea comes from Vatican II's Unitatis Redintegratio. Number 11, some truths are closer to the core of the gospel than others. In the traditional sense, this is fine. Dogmas are like a pyramid with the Trinity and Incarnation at the top. But Francis, and now Leo, use it differently. They argue the Church should not be obsessed with the disjointed transmission of a multitude of doctrines. Instead, focus on the kerygma. God loves all men. Everything else? Secondary. Negotiable. But here is the brutal fact. This latitudinarianism, acting like some doctrines don't really matter, was condemned by Pope Pius IX in his 1864 encyclical Quanta Cura and the Syllabus of Errors. And the emphasis on experience over doctrine? Pope St. Pius X called it the heart of modernism in Pascendi Dominici Gregis, 1907. Fernández even scolds traditionalist groups for resisting Francis's condemnation of the death penalty. He says those who rejected Francis's teaching will see his pontificate as a bad parenthesis. But under Leo, there is no parenthesis. There is only continuity. So here's the question for every Catholic watching. If the Pope is asking you to receive a magisterium that treats doctrine as optional, are you being faithful? Or are you being asked to forget what always must be believed?